The silence after the battle was deafening. The collapsed tunnel still hissed with smoke. The bodies of the seeker units lay motionless, their once blinking lights now dark. Villagers cautiously emerged from behind makeshift shields, wounded, weary but alive. Lira stood at the center of it all, bathed in a faint blue glow. She wasn't holding a weapon. She didn't need to. Whatever had happened had come from within her. Cav approached slowly, his face a mix of awe and suspicion. "What was that?" he asked. Lira shook her head. "I don't know, but I felt it, like I could speak to them through the code." She looked down at her hands. It wasn't just thought. It was instinct. Cav exhaled, rubbing his beard. "This changes everything." Behind them, the villagers gathered. Some looked at Lira with hope, others with fear. The elder woman from the cave stepped forward, holding a child in her arms. "You're the one from the prophecy," she said. "No," Lira answered. "I'm just trying to find my mother." The woman nodded. "That's why you're the one." Suddenly, a loud bang echoed through the chamber. Everyone turned. A section of the cave wall had collapsed, revealing a hidden corridor behind it. On the wall, barely visible beneath layers of dust, was a symbol. A flower known with wires as roots. Cav stared. "It's the same as the one on your mother's pendant." Lira stepped forward. Her fingers brushed the symbol. A surge of memory flashed in her mind, a voice, a touch, warmth. "She was here," she whispered. Without waiting, she entered the corridor. Cav followed close behind. The path was narrow, winding, and ancient. Unlike the other tunnels, this one pulsed with energy, dim lights, flickering from embedded circuits along the walls. They reached a door, rusty, locked. Lira placed her hand on it. The door responded, not to a code, not to force, but to her. It opened with a quiet hum. Inside was a small chamber. In the center, a terminal, still active. On the screen, a message. "Lira, if you're reading this, it means you've awakened." Her breath caught. The voice echoed in her mind. Her mother's voice. "I left this message because I knew they would come for you, just as they did for me. But you are more than they think. Your blood carries what they fear: connection, memory, truth." Lira reached out and touched the screen. More data streamed in, coordinates, encrypted maps, files labeled route protocol. Cav looked over her shoulder. "This is a blueprint," he said, "of the entire underground system." Lira's eyes widened. "She wanted me to find this." Suddenly the terminal flickered. Another message appeared. "They are coming." Cav tensed. "We need to move now." Lira hesitated, then nodded. She had awakened, and the world above would never be the same. They moved quickly. The secret corridor behind them sealed itself with a soft mechanical hiss. Whatever technology powered this place, it was older than the system, but far more advanced. Cav led the way, flashlight in hand, while Lira carried the data core she had extracted from the terminal. Her mother's words still echoed in her ears. "Your blood carries what they fear: connection, memory, truth." The narrow passage opened into a large dome-shaped chamber. It took Lira's breath away. Massive roots snaked through the ceiling, and walls, intertwined with glowing conduits. In the center of the chamber stood a pillar, covered in symbols. At its base, a cradle of tangled wires pulsed with light. "This is a node," Cav whispered. "A living part of the old world." Lira stepped closer. The core in her hand vibrated, then suddenly activated. A beam of light connected it to the node. The air crackled. Holograms appeared around them. Images of cities buried underground, once vibrant communities, and symbols repeating in patterns: flowers, roots, waves of data. One image froze. Her mother, standing in front of a similar pillar. "She was here," Lira said. Cav nodded. "She was trying to wake the system." "No," Lira corrected. "She was trying to free it." Suddenly a noise. Metal clattering. They weren't alone. From a side tunnel, a figure emerged. Tall, human, but not fully. Its eyes glowed faintly. A hybrid, The villagers had whispered of them, humans modified by the system. Not entirely machine, not entirely free. It spoke. You shouldn't be here. Cav raised his weapon, but Lira stepped forward. We're not here to fight. The hybrid tilted its head. You carry the root signal. That makes you a threat. I didn't choose this, Lira said, but I won't let you stop me. The hybrid moved fast, too fast. Cav fired, missed, but the hybrid suddenly froze mid-attack. Lira stood still, eyes closed, breathing steady. Her pulse, syncing with the node. A wave of light pulsed from the pillar. The hybrid staggered back, holding its head, then fell to its knees. I remember, it whispered. Tears welled in its glowing eyes. My name was Tala. Lira knelt beside it. You're not lost, she said softly. You were just rewritten. Tala looked at her, shaking. They're coming. Others like me, dozens, sent to erase everything connected to the root. Cav cursed under his breath. We need to warn the village. Lira looked up at the glowing node. No, she said. We need to activate them. All of them. Cav stared. You're talking about waking every root system? Lira nodded. If we don't, they'll erase everything. She looked at Tala. Can you help us? Tala hesitated, then slowly nodded. I was built to erase memories. But maybe I can help restore them. The node chamber had grown quiet but not calm. Tala stood near the central pillar, connected by a thin neural cable that shimmered with pulses of light. Lira and Cav watched as the chamber responded, its walls flickering, with new patterns, ancient code reawakening. These systems weren't just built to control, Tala said. They were built to remember, to protect truths the system couldn't erase. Lira stepped closer. Then why bury them? Tala turned to her. Because memory is dangerous. It's resistance. Outside the node, the ground trembled. Tala's eyes flared. The purge units have entered the lower tunnels. We have minutes. Cav pulled up a map on his wristpad. There's another root node, beneath the forest line. If we activate it, we could create a chain reaction. Link them all. Lira placed her hand on the node's surface. It responded to her touch, soft waves of data rippling outward. She spoke softly. Show me what they tried to hide. The chamber flooded with light. Memories, hers but not hers. Her mother, running through the corridors, speaking to others. A hidden network of root keepers, people who had chosen to remember, even if it cost them everything. One image stood out. A woman, her mother, holding an infant. Lira, she staggered back. She knew, from the beginning. She knew I was connected. The vision faded. Tala's voice was sharp now. They're breaching the access gate. Cav cursed. We don't have time. But Lira stood firm. We do. She placed the core into the pillar. Activate protocol, root awakening. The ground shook violently. Roots lit up along the walls, crawling with luminous energy. The old world was stirring. A low hum turned into a pulse, felt in the bones, not the ears. Tala smiled weakly. It's working. Then the tunnel burst open. Metal-clad purge units stormed in, eyes red, weapons raised. Lira turned, hands raised, not in surrender but in defiance. This time she wasn't alone. Tala stepped beside her. So did Cav. Behind them, the chamber's energy flared brighter and brighter. And then, silence. A shockwave burst outward, passing through the machines like a wind. Their movements halted. Their lights flickered and went dark. The root had spoken, and the system had listened. The journey north was silent at first. Lira, Cav, and Tala moved through the forgotten tunnels, deep beneath the Earth's surface. Every step brought them closer to where it all began. Outpost Zero. No maps, no signals, just roots, glowing faintly beneath their feet like veins carrying memory. Are you sure this is the path? Cav asked, eyeing the endless dark ahead. Lira nodded. I'm not following a path. I'm following the signal, It's calling me. Tala adjusted her scanner. The deeper we go, the more interference. The system buried something here, or tried to. They reached an old chamber. Rusted doors, crumbled tech. On the wall, a symbol nearly faded with time. A flower, and beneath it a word. Origin. Lira stepped forward. She placed her hand on the metal door. It responded, unlocking with a low hum. Inside, lights flickered on. Rows of pods covered in dust. Monitors dead for decades, but one pod still active. Tala gasped. Someone's inside. They rushed over. Inside the pod, a woman, eyes closed, breathing slow, and on her neck a necklace. The flower pendant. Lira's voice broke. "Mom!" Cav pulled back. "How is she still alive?" Tala checked the panel. Cryostasis auto-sealed, set to awaken. With the signal, the pod hissed open. Elen's eyes opened. She looked at Lira, confused at first, then smiled. "You came," she whispered. Lira fell to her knees, tears flooding her eyes. "Why didn't you come back? Why did you leave me?" Elen reached out, touching her daughter's cheek. "I didn't leave you. I planted you. Like a seed. You were always meant to grow into this moment." Tala stood back, stunned. "She's the source, isn't she? The original root carrier." Elen nodded weakly. "The first to defy the system from within. The code in me is now in her." Cav spoke quietly. "And now?" Elen looked toward the wall. A hidden door began to open. Beyond it, a vast control chamber. Dead screens flickered back to life. "The final interface," Elen said. "The core. If we reach it, we can shut it all down. No more surveillance. No more control." Lira stood. Her voice was steady. "Then let's finish what you started." And together they stepped into the light. The control chamber was immense. Ancient, circular, carved deep into the bedrock. Dozens of dormant terminals lined the walls, each one humming softly now, as if awakening from a long sleep. In the center stood a towering column of light, pulsing, alive. "This is it," Elen whispered. "The core, the system's heart." Lira stepped forward. A deep vibration passed through her body. "It's aware of us." Cav drew his weapon. "Then we don't have much time." Tala approached one of the terminals, fingers dancing across its interface. "It's locked down. Biometric access required." Elen stepped beside her, but her hands trembled. "I'm too weak to connect now. It has to be Lira." Lira hesitated. Her palms felt warm, glowing faintly as if her blood was responding. She placed both hands on the terminal. The room shook. A soft voice echoed around them. "Identity confirmed. L47, root lineage detected. Do you wish to execute full system reset?" Cav's eyes widened. "A reset? What does that mean?" Elen spoke quietly. "Shut it all down. Memory archives, command chains, surveillance." Tala added, "It would give humanity a chance to choose again, without control." Lira looked around the room. Visions filled her mind, brief flashes of the world above. Cities bathed in artificial light. Children monitored from birth. Dreams calculated before they could even form. Then to stillness. "I choose freedom," Lira said. She pressed her hand forward. "Execute." The column of light flared. A wave of energy exploded outward, silent, powerful, absolute. Screens across the room shattered. Terminals went dark. One by one, the lights in the chamber blinked out. And then, silence. The core was gone. Elen sank to her knees, tears on her cheeks. "It's over," she whispered. Cav lowered his weapon. Tala leaned against the wall, exhausted but smiling. Lira stood at the center, her breath steady, her purpose fulfilled. But she knew this wasn't the end. Above ground, a world conditioned to fear its own thoughts would soon wake up to silence, to possibility. And from that silence, a new world could begin.